This road gets lonely.
Hello, I'm Dr. Heidi Horsley, Executive Director for the Open to Hope Foundation, and I'm here today with my guest, Linda Goldman. Linda is a fellow in thanatology, death, dying, and bereavement. She has written many articles and books on children in grief and trauma, and she received the ADEC Clinical Practice Award in 2003. Linda, what are the common signs of grieving for children?
We have found out sometimes children grieve a little differently than adults, but it's so important, Heidi, to have kids know what's common for grieving as well as those adults around them so that we can reduce their anxiety when these new feelings come up. Mm-hmm. So we find that children tend to tell their story over and over and over again. They tend to have an ongoing, ever-present relationship with the person that they love. They often feel that they're with that loved one, whether it's a breeze that goes by or a butterfly. And one dad that I worked with actually made a butterfly necklace for his daughter because she felt every time she saw a butterfly, it was a sign that her mom was nearby.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and sometimes grieving kids have physical signs. They have headaches, they have stomach aches, they may regress, they may become clingy. And so many of them worry excessively about their health and the health of the surviving parents and guardians. Sometimes they can't do well in school. They can't concentrate. They show common behavioral signs of impulsivity, distractibility, inability to concentrate, and hyperactivity. Sometimes they withdraw. They become the class clown, or they could become the class bully.
And how do young children perceive death?
Well, I think the young children that I'll talk about are those around the ages of 2 and 7. And as Piaget called this, it's the pre-operational stage. It's marked by reversibility, egocentricity, causality, and magical thinking. So when a child goes to his grandfather's funeral and the cemetery and thinks that he's in heaven, he still thinks if he writes him a letter, he'll get a response in the mail.
Because kids are so literal.
Literal, and they think that death could be reversible. Magical thinking is huge during this time. When a child yells to his older brother, "I hate you, I wish that you were dead," and the next morning the brother is killed in an accident, he feels his words caused that to happen. One little girl, after 9/11, her mom was killed in the Pentagon. And she whispered in my ear, "Linda, you know, I think it's my fault. My mommy died."
Wow.
And I said, "Well, why would you think it's your fault?" She said, "Well, my mom had a cold and I didn't make her stay home that day." So it's so important that we help young children with this understanding, release any of their magical thinking rather than carry it with them through childhood.
What are the childhood losses children face?
Well, when we in ADEC usually work with kids that have had the death of a relationship, the loss of someone, it can be their absence, it can be due to divorce, separation, imprisonment, or deployment. But the loss of a relationship, oftentimes there are secondary losses such as the loss of the environment, the loss of skills and abilities, the loss of self-esteem, the loss of the daily routine. One little boy said, the time I miss my mom the most is when all the kids are playing before dinner and all the moms call their kids in for dinner and my mom isn't there. And I think the biggest loss for all of our children globally is the loss of a future, the loss of the protection of the adult world.
And the loss of the future they thought they were going to have.
Yes. And the loss of the assumptive future that adults can always take care of them.
And that they live in a safe and predictable world.
And protected world.
Okay.
Yeah.
Linda, thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome.
And thank you for all the work you're doing to help children find hope after loss.
Thank you, Heidi.
Is I'm sure our love lives on. It's deeper than flesh and bone, stronger than time. It keeps me close to you when I open open up my mind. So I chase butterflies, I reach for falling stars, I look for any sign from where you are. I call your name out to the wind so I can hear your voice again. Death can't keep us apart. I know you by heart. You're my heart. People think I'm crazy 'cause I talk to you this way. Oh, but you amaze me with the words I feel you say. You're the end